in Discord. Okay, cool. You can see my camera at all times, right? Mhm. Testing, testing, 1 2, 1 2, testing, 1 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the National Team Combine for Esport Canada on the University of Saskatchewan channel. Apologies, folks. We do run into some technical difficulties. I'm going to put it down to the fact that I'm British. It's definitely my fault. So apologies that we had a little bit of echoiness, a little bit of just making sure we had everything in place. The good news is we are up to full speed and we are ready to go. And of course, you may have no idea who I am, so I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Stuart Wesley. Some of you may know me as Wezza, and I will be your host and commentator over the course of this combine in the eFootball 2024 category. The winner of today's combine will advance and become the representative of Canada for the International Esports Federation and the Global Esports Federation. Quite simply put, folks, it is win at all costs. That's as easy as I can put this today. Today's games, of course, will be conducted under IESF rules, meaning that licensed teams are only used in this tournament. So essentially, if it is licensed within the game of eFootball, Manchester United, Inter Milan, AC Milan, you know the drill. They are the teams that you're able to use. And of course, why should we delay any further? We've had enough of our technical difficulties. Why should we delay any further? We have our first game up on the live stream, and it is going to be Maverick versus Javier in the winners quarter final. And as you can see on your screen here, two teams. Interestingly, we have a little bit of an AC Milan Inter Milan derby. So these players will have all of these players who are available to them. We can certainly see a little bit of the makeups on the match play screen. Interestingly, right hand side of your screen, Inter Milan going with a 3-5-2, AC Milan going with a 4-2-3. Oh, sorry, 4-2-1-3 formation. And it'll be interesting to see how these two teams match up. Of course, I believe it is Maverick who is on the left-hand side of your screen as AC Milan, and it is Javier on the right-hand side of your screen playing as Inter Milan. So we will obviously make sure we get that confirmed as you'll see it load up into the screen. But it's always good to take a look at the game plan screens because you always get a real feel of how these two players will line up against one another. Of course, this is a little bit of a kind of almost like a kind of a curtain call for these guys. They'll be able to kind of show people what their abilities are. You can interestingly see as well sub tactic being used on the left hand side. Of course, sub tactics, you're able to hide a secondary tactic to maybe catch your opponent off guard. But interestingly, though, right hand side of your screen, Inter Milan look very calm. They've got everything they need, and that everything is ready to go. So, all in all, we are ready, or we are going to be ready shortly, as we see Benacer and co. You just cast your eye over onto the right hand side. You got Bischek, you got Devray, Bastoni, Mkhitaryan, Kalanoglu, Aslani, David Klaassen, Juan Cuadrado, Marcus Thuram, and of course the unmistakable Lautaro Martinez in play here for Inter. So it'll be very interesting to see how they play on the left-hand side of your screen, of course. Is that almost that traditional 4-2-1-3, that 4-3-3 formation that we're so used to seeing within eFootball. And of course, all of these minor touches, folks, it's very easy to look at this and say, oh, well, are they micromanaging this a little bit too much? Absolutely not. All of these changes are vital to successes on this pitch, and I believe we are off and almost ready to roll. So be able to soak in the atmosphere here at the San Siro. as we are about to get off and underway here. And it is Maverick from left to right, Javier from right to left as we get off and underway. Kalulu out onto the right-hand side here. It'll be interesting to see how these two match up against one another. Reinders over to Benacer. Benacer looking to turn his man there, finds Noah Okafor in towards Benacer. Rafael Leo. Leo looking in towards Okafor. Okafor looks to turn his man, gets a strike away! And that is an early start for Maverick. It is 1-0. Very early going. And is Noah Okafor inside 5 minutes. It's a notable speedster of this AC Milan team. And that will certainly send a couple of shockwaves into Javier's game plan. He will now have to come out and play a bit more aggressive. It's Thuram to Klassen. Klassen looking in towards Martinez, headed away. Only as far as Aslani. Cuadrado looking to receive the ball from Klassen, and away it goes on the counter-attack here. Here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek in towards Okafor. Round the corner to Rafael Leo. Bisek will clear that one down the line. Cuadrado trying to get it in field. And 10 in-game minutes gone here. And AC Milan and Mavericks Eyes have a 0-0 lead. Kalanoglu, Bisek in towards Marcus Thuram. Cleared away by Fakayo Tomori. Reinders in towards Rafael Leo. It's cleared away, dispossessed by Juan Cuadrado, and just breaking down a little bit here in midfield. Benacer looking to get a handle on it. Rafael Leo with a good turnaround. Bisek in towards Noah Okafor. Tries to get round the corner again. Stephen De Vrij this time will clear that one away. And interestingly for Javier, he's managed to recover quite well after that early goal. Still not quite got himself a clear-cut opportunity as yet. Such is the stubborn and rigid defence of Maverick. Here's Aslani, though, looking to try and change that. Is Hakan Kalanoglu. It's cleared away. Is Reinders to Chukwueze. Chukwueze turns a corner, but runs right into Henrik Mkhitaryan. It's just heading into a bit of a midfield battle here. It's about who is going to lay the next body blow. Will it be the red and black attack of AC Milan? It will be the white and blue wave of Inter Milan. We will find out in the process of this game. Aslani, neat back heel, but to absolutely nobody. And it's given every bit of impetus here to Maverick. It finds Okafor, it finds Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek got a goal! It's 2-0! Ruben Loftus-Cheek makes it 2-0. And Maverick already looking very, very comfortable with this AC Milan side. Only trying to clear it down the line, and all of a sudden, increasingly a harsher and harsher mountain to climb. Here's Juan Cuadrado. Bisek. Javier looking to find a response here. Martinez on towards Mkhitaryan. Has the opportunity to play the runners through, but instead it's gone back towards Mkhitaryan. Kalulu. Chukwueze down the line here. Maverick looking to lead the charge. Loftus-Cheek has got players inside him. Should he look to use them? Back heel to Chukwueze. Chukwueze with the stunning cross into the box. Headed clear away by Bastoni. Klassen as we close in on that first half. It is 2-0. Maverick from left to right. Javier from right to left. And at the moment, it is the man in red and black who is leading, Benacer. Plays it across to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek in towards Okafor. Okafor to Rafael Leo. Leo trying to turn and find a strike. He does find a strike, but it just goes past the post. De Gennaro, watch that one wide. He's got to be a bit careful here as Javier. Bastoni clears it forward. Kalanoglu. Can Javier find a response? Thuram, just to shake the confidence here of Maverick. Chukwueze. Bastoni wins it back again. Çalhanoğlu down the left-hand side here, looking for Mkhitaryan, but it's cleared away by Kalulu. It's a good header in midfield there by Maverick. He's looking to just press this three-man defence, and that is an interesting decision there by Javier. Klaassen in towards Thuram. Thuram looking to get a shot away, but Theo will take it away. Mkhitaryan, Aslani, Çalhanoğlu looking through the line, and Thuram's benefited. Thuram 2-1 just before half time. What a time to score! It changes a team talk. And there is the seed of doubt planted in Maverick's defensive work. One small lapse in concentration, and Marcus Thuram was able to benefit from it. And at half-time, it is 2-1 for Maverick. Javier just getting one back on the stroke of half-time. It was his only shot, and only shot on target that half. But it will be worth its weight in gold if it can come through in this game. But at the moment, it is still 2-1 for Maverick. Maverick, as we said, got those early chances, took them very quickly in the first 20-25 minutes of the game, and hasn't really looked all that shaky since then. There's one small lapse that has resulted in that goal. Hamrit Mkhitaryan down the left-hand side. Çalhanoğlu in towards Thuram. Thuram in towards Martinez. Good save from the goalkeeper. Magnan had to be smart there. In true gamer fashion, replays are skipped. Çalhanoğlu looking towards the box for Mkhitaryan. Not exactly the most obvious of headed targets as Cuadrado gets it down looking for a strike. And there could potentially be a little bit of a breakout here. There's Okafor. Okafor in towards Rafael Leao. Reinders turns in field, looks for Okafor, tries to get it out of his feet, and it just goes wide of the post. Good opportunities building here for Maverick. And very much so. He will keep this going. Well, there is only a 1-goal deficit here for Javier. There's certainly enough time on the clock here to do some damage. Good work down the line here by Klaassen and Cuadrado, but he's cleared away towards Rafael Leao. Bisek just can't get the tackle completely clean through. And instead, Rafael Leao will take the throw-in. Leao to Benacer, to Theo Hernandez, in towards Reinders. Cleared down the line. Here is Thuram, and there's could be a quick counter on here for Inter Milan. For Javier, Martinez trying to find it forward, does so, find it through to Thuram. Martinez, and it's dispossessed. It's a little bit too slow from Javier. He's going to have to be a bit quicker if he wants to get an opportunity of getting back to level in this game. Okafor. Okafor to Ruben Loftus-Cheek in towards Okafor. Okafor trying once more, but Bisek will do well. Klaassen will get it forward, and 60 in-game minutes gone here. Still 2-1 in favour of Maverick. As we said, the winner of today's entire tournament will represent Canada in the IESF and GEF tournaments moving forward in eFootball 2024. So there's a big prize on show for all of the players concerned here today. Hernandez heads it down. Reinders in towards Rafael Leao. Hernandez looking back for Leao. It's cleared away again here. Reinders to Benacer. Benacer to Rafael Leao. Cleared away here by Klaassen. Çalhanoğlu. You just got to think that Javier might just get one more big opportunity here. Lautaro Martinez in towards Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan looking into the box here. It's headed clear for a corner for Javier. And if you're wondering on uniform ratings, folks, quite simply put, it just levels up the overalls that consistently within a team. So that is why you're looking at some of the players here, and they may not necessarily have the same overalls or the same overall rating that they do in the likes of Dream Team and other game modes. That's why you're looking at these, and they've got different ratings. As you can see, left-hand side of your screen, Maverick looking at player skills and looking at traits and looking at what statistics these players have. And of course, on the bench, it's all about knowing your squad. And when you get to this type of level, it's all about knowing your squad and knowing what key traits you're looking for. You're looking for the likes of super sub. You're looking for one-touch pass. You're looking for first-time shooting. It just allows you a little bit more freedom off of the bench in terms of having stamina all the way up and refreshed stamina. As the corner comes in, ball into the box. Martinez with the header and deal with the clearance. Benacer. Aslani wins it back. Barella. Not seeing enough of him today. There's Rafael Leao on the counter. Musa in towards Pulisic. Pulisic to Rafael Leao to Musa. Musa looking back for Pulisic. It's cleared away. Carlos Augusto in towards Martinez. Martinez looking in towards Sarr. It's cleared away though. Rafael Leao. Aslani. Barella. Sarr in towards Lautaro Martinez. Across to Augusto. It's taken clear by Kalulu. He's such a wonderful defender to have in this game mode, as is Bisek as well. Both great defenders to have in your defence is Sarr. Sarr is fouled on the edge of the box here. Free kick given. Free kick lined up. It's going to be Aslani over it potentially. May play it short. Certainly looks like the first option from Javi. It might be a bit of gamesmanship. Aslani with a strike. Oh, it has just gone over the bar. That is very, very close. A little bit of gamesmanship there, maybe selecting it's through to Martinez again here. It was a little bit of gamesmanship on that free kick, just selecting what was looking to be a pass and then get in and played the shot, potentially. Sarr, though, looking in towards Martinez again. It's cleared away, and we're getting into the last 10 in-game minutes here. And if you're wondering, of course, it's not just over with a loss, of course. We do have a Swiss bracket. So a Swiss bracket essentially means you get a second shot. You get a second shot, so you will fall into the bottom bracket, or the loser's bracket as it's called. And you'll still have enough opportunity to get through to today's grand final. Adli in towards Okafor. Okafor looking back towards Adli. Aslani will clear it away. Leao in towards Adli. Okafor. Okafor with the strike. Oh, it's just gone off the bar. That could have been the final nail in the proverbial coffin of this winners' quarter-final. As we'll see changes coming in. This could be a crucial moment here for both players. Interesting, though, no substitutions outside of what we have already seen from Javier. Played short at the goal kick. Olivier Giroud on as well in the last throws of the game. Time is ticking down here. As Theo Hernandez plays it down the line. Will Maverick maybe head for the corner? He won't. He'll look to play in towards Hernandez. Hernandez looking in for Giroud. And Di Gennaro with the save. And there is 3 added minutes here of stoppage time. Will there be a final turn in the tail? Adli in towards Giroud. Giroud scores! And that is surely that. Maverick makes it 3-1 with not long left on the clock, and you would think that he is seeing himself through into the next round. It's a great performance from him, and there goes the final whistle. It is AC Milan 3, Inter Milan 1. And that was a fantastic game to open the stream, full of goals. And again, it was a wonderful bit of play from Maverick in terms of the 3 goals that we saw. It was a wonderful performance. Of course, Jarvi has now slipped into that losers bracket, has now got to somehow recover a little bit of time and a little bit of yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just had a moment there, folks. I thought we had some more technical difficulties. Apologies. That's my fault. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the game that we've just saw, we've just seen Maverick versus Jarvi in the winners' quarterfinal. So that is again, it now means that Jarvi now slips into the losers' quarterfinal, and that is now coming up next. So it is going to be Jarvi versus Football Gaming, which we are just waiting for it just to be queued up on our stream here. And it will be Jarvi versus Football Gaming in the losers quarter final. As you can see here, it's going to be Manchester United versus FC Bayern Munich. And as we can see, just making sure that obviously all of the rules and regulations are kind of kept up to date and making sure that they are all ready and across the board. And what a first game that we saw. It's so much so, it's completely took me out of the live stream. So apologies, folks, for that almost sudden departure of my own brain. As we'll see the 2 teams lining up on the left and the right here. And I believe it'll be Football Gaming as Manchester United, and it will be Jarvi as Bayern Munich. So there's a little bit of a change there for Jarvi, if that is to be believed. He certainly came away from that first game thinking, maybe I don't use Inter Milan, and I don't necessarily think that that was the issue, really, for Jarvi. I think it was more a case that actually it was just the setup, the 3-5-2, that was the issue. But you can see here a little bit more of a staggered approach from him on the right-hand side, if it is to be believed. So it looks like a 4-2-2 by the looks of things. Of course, on the left-hand side of your screen, we believe that is Football Gaming. And you can see, of course, Manchester United are littered with really good players to have in this game mode. Rasmus Højlund, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, they've got Rashford, they've got McTominay, Casemiro, they've got Anthony, who is actually really good in this game mode as well. Of course, they've got a lot of talented youngsters. And of course, looking at, of course, Amad Diallo as well. Yeah, just in the last throes of the tinkering with their teams. As we said before, a pixel either side can be problematic for any of these players. As we wait for them just to toy and tinker with their teams. And as just checking in with production, I believe we are ready to go. As the game is about to boot up, and we are ready to go here between these two. So it's Manchester United versus Bayern Munich, and we are ready to go. We will see exactly who is who in just a moment as we see the pause coming in. Of course, as we said, these players, they will be tinkering with these teams, and they will be just making sure that all of these slight movements, they really can be costly. It's almost an old school gamer trick or a competitor trick whereby you pause it just as you go in to give yourself a little bit more time, as Casemiro and Rashford and Fernandes and Manchester United starting off early. Here's Martial. Oh, what a goal! Not even 2 minutes gone, and Martial makes it 1-0. We haven't even settled into our seats here, and Football Gaming has a lead already against Jarvi. What a start! As confirmed, it is Football Gaming from left to right. It is Jarvi from right to left. And after that damaging defeat, as the referee calls a foul there, you just see the replay. It's going to be Guerrero over it. But what an electric start here. Mazraoui. It's headed clear. McTominay. Kimmich will win it back here. McTominay wins it again. And Manchester United in uniform ratings mode are such a strong team to play with. Amad Diallo in towards Marcus Rashford. Rashford turns and strikes one. Oh, it's off the post. It could have easily have been 2-0 within 7 in-game minutes. That would have been a wonderful start for football gaming. And the pressure is still on from football gaming, but Kimmich will relieve it just a little bit. Guerrero. Lima. Kane. Back towards Joshua Kimmich. Martial wins it back here. Football gaming looking to really take this game away from Javi and put him completely out of commission. Eric Dyer wins it back in midfield. Harry Kane, Joshua Kimmich. Lima. Casemiro wins it back. Goretzka. Kane. McTominay. Forward to Rashford. Almost hypnotic the way that football game is knocking this ball around. Rashford in towards Martial. Mazraoui will put pay to it though and we'll get it clear. Rashford. Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro. Martial. Rashford. Lindelof. Back towards McTominay. Harry Kane. Lima. Kane. Dispossessed by Johnny Evans there. And again, it's almost a telltale sign of what we're seeing during these games is that actually when a goal is conceded, it's actually a case that they recover it quite well after conceding as Guerrero fires one over the bar. Onana with the goal kick. Up towards Rashford. Lindelof in towards Diallo. Diallo in towards Rashford. Rashford looking for Martial. Martial, good footwork for the Frenchman, but it's into the side netting. Manuel Neuer will grasp that one into his spell, and 25 in-game minutes gone here. Still 1-0-0 to Delete. That's a bit casual from him. Lima has not done anything really to clear that one. Rashford in towards McTominay. McTominay looking to chip one into the box. Not really the option against such a physical team in Bayern Munich. Sarr to Lima. Lima back to Sarr. Muller. Lima. Guerrero. He's managed to win that one back off of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Javi will be looking to try and get 1 goal back in this, because if he gets a second loss here in back-to-back games, that will put him completely out of the running here of the national team combine for Esports Canada, as Goretzka goes in with the acrobatic, and it's just over the bar. And 33 in-game minutes gone here. As we said, Javi has kind of settled it a little bit here, but the reality, of course, is he's still 1-0 down here. Is Martial. Rashford. Martial. Rashford. Back to Martial. Rashford. Football Gaming doing very well here. Good footwork from Anthony Martial. Martial goes to the strike. Oh, what a huge hit from Anthony Martial. It's 2-0. And Anthony Martial says thank you very much and takes 2-0. It is an electric start here from Football Gaming. Here's Kane. Kane forward to Guerrero. Ambasaka. Bruno Fernandes in towards Martial. Mazraoui. In towards Harry Kane. Kane dispossessed by Casemiro. Scott McTominay in towards Diallo. Bruno Fernandes. Martial in towards Bruno Fernandes again. It's cleared all the way back there for a corner. There's Goretzka. It's coming up, approaching half-time here. And again, if Javi can do the same thing he did against Maverick, he may just, again, shake this confidence from Football Gaming. At the moment, it is all Manchester United. And there goes the half-time whistle. It is Manchester United 2, Bayern Munich 0. And Football Gaming very much in control of proceedings here. As we'll see. As we can see, shall we say, from what we've seen so far here, it's been a very comprehensive 2-0 performance. It is only half time though. There is still time for Javi to get back into this, but it is a complex one at best. He will need a goal very, very early on to stand any chance of getting back into the game here. You just wait for the two players to just ready up once more. Now, of course, if you of a Canadian persuasion, which I'd imagine that a lot of the live stream viewers will be looking at, of course, the most notable Canadian amongst it is, of course, Alphonso Davies, who features on Bayern Munich's side of the football, normally on that left-hand side, but he's been opted not to be used here, which is quite a strange one, given the pace he possesses. As Lima looks to try and take it under control here. It's normally Alphonso Davies, but on this occasion it's been preferred to Rafael Guerrero, and Bruno Fernandes will look to try and play it to Martial. Mazraoui also being featured here as well on that left-hand side. There is Guerrero. He's in midfield. Of course, Guerrero can play in so many different positions. It's quite hard to track just about where he's going to be playing at any time. Of course, I believe it was, again, I'm sure that the chat will correct me, I'm sure it was the Vancouver Whitecaps, I think that Alphonso Davies was transferred from all that time ago. It feels very weird to even picture him in another team's football shirt, such was the young age that he went to Bayern Munich in. It'd be interesting to see if he makes his way off the bench here. Is Mazraoui down the left-hand side? Javi might need all the help he can get here, because Football Gaming looks like he's got a really, really good and really sturdy back line to work with, and he's played a little bit of a counter-attack football here. Is Marcus Rashford and Eric Dyer will clear it away. And as far as Casemiro, Martial bounces that one away. Here's Eric Dyer, Mazraoui. Diallo wins it back. Casemiro heading towards Anthony Martial. Musiala wins it back. Just looking for some type of creative spark here, and he may have found a little bit of it, Javi. Here's Brian Zaragoza. Wan-Bissaka with the flying clearance. Casemiro and Scott McTominay gets it away. Here's Marcus Rashford, maybe to look and break a counter-attack, but instead it's Matthias de Ligt. Mazraoui. Kimmich. Eric Dyer. Across to Sarr. Sarr back to Conrad Laimer. Laimer to Kimmich. Kimmich finds his way through to Zaragoza. Zaragoza with some neat footwork looking for Harry Kane, but Johnny Evans will clear that one away with 20 in-game minutes left here. Still 2-0 here for Football Gaming. Rashford looking down towards Bruno Fernandes. Eric Dyer will clear. Only as far as Casemiro. Casemiro in towards Scott McTominay. McTominay fouled. Free kick given. Again, played short, looking for Rashford. Kimmich will clear it away, though. Rashford. Diallo. Across the way to McTominay. McTominay looking to deliver one on the left-hand side. Cleared away once more. Here's Kimmich. Launch forward again. And here's Casemiro. Diallo. And again, a big nod to our production team who've worked wonders. And there is Alphonso Davis to bring these pictures to life for you. As we said, we had some technical gremlins at the start, but we have managed to bring you already 6 goals in the competition so far. And we're only 2 games in as Bowie looks to lift that one forward. Harry Kane, not long left here for Javi. He could be running out of options, running out of ideas. He could be running out of time, crucially. Musiala plays it in. Here is Davis. Davis swings into the box, looking for Zaragoza's header, but Hanana will come out and take it away. Not long left here between these two. Here's Jamal Musiala. Laimer. Time ticks away. There's a foul given. Scott McTominay on Laimer. And again, if it's going to happen for Javi, it's going to happen now. Kane tries to flick it on, and Wan-Bissaka will head it back to his goalkeeper. A little bit of game management there from Football Gaming. As we tick into the very final moments of this game, still 2-0. It looks as though Javi is looking out of this competition and will be out of the national team combine. Maybe Football Gaming who will be through into the next round. And there goes the final whistle. It is Manchester United 2, FC Bayern Munich 0. It is Javi who is out of the national team come by Football Gaming through to the next round. And again, a really solid performance there by Football Gaming. I think we had quite a good look of how he's performed. He was very much in control, very much never looked out of it. He never looked like he was out of any real control. And very rarely can I think of any of the opportunities that we saw from Javi in that second game, even with the switch of team. Again, it was a little bit too much for him, but again, we appreciate Javi for coming and participating, of course, in the team combine. And of course, with all of these players here, I believe this is the first combine that we have seen, or national team combine we have seen for Esports Canada. Hopefully, will not be the last. So you may see some of these guys again, and you may see some of them with a bit more of an improvement on their game style, and their game plans, and their gameplay, more importantly. So again, really good to see from him. And of course, it does set up quite a good. It does give us quite a good look at some of these players. And again, looking at what we've got coming up quite soon. I mean, the game that I would say that I'm most looking forward to, looking at how it's been kind of put forward here. It looks as though the winners final looks as though, I'm just double checking with our production team, just checking with them. It looks as though it does look and it does sound like we are ready to go. So coming up next is going to be Alan Showtime versus Maverick in the winners final. And what a game this it has got written all over it here. Again, in the winners bracket, we can interestingly see there, of course, Manchester United versus AC Milan. Again, a real clash of styles between these two teams. Manchester United known for, as we've seen already, their abilities to build up play, their abilities of quick counter-attacks. And of course, we can see as well, right-hand side of your screen, AC Milan, very, very good at the ability of finding an opportunity and really just using their defensive prowess, using their physicality, especially in this type of mode with uniform ratings. It's massive. Physicality is a huge, huge plus to have. So it's kind of quite a smart play between these two. I believe it's going to be Maverick on the left-hand side of our screen, and it's going to be Alan Showtime on the right-hand side of the screen. Of course, we'll always make sure and we'll double-check it just for clarity. Of course, we'll see it as soon as we come through into the actual game itself. Interestingly, though, that is a very interesting tactic on the right-hand side of your screen, is that it's almost testing, very much building the brick wall, as it were. Of course, notable players, of course, Noah Okafor, I believe, is part of the US national team. So again, may not necessarily be alien to US and Canadian viewers among us. Very much a highly thought of and well-rounded centre forward. Certainly he's one to keep your eye out for in the future. As we just wait for these. We wait for these changes to come in here. Okafor and co. As you can see, left-hand side of your screen, a little bit more settled. Is that almost traditional 4-3-3 that you're used to seeing within eFootball esports? We've seen it a lot over the IESF World Championships in Bali, in Romania. We've certainly seen it across the board in terms of eFootball Pro and eFootball Championship Pro, also in the eFootball Championship Open as well. So there's some thought behind that on the left-hand side of the screen, folks, because it does give you that balance between defense and attack quite well. It's just a case about how you execute at that point. And of course, we appreciate you guys for being in the chat with us as well. Of course, we, see a couple of our viewers. See Coach Mao in the chat. So a good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you're viewing from. Maverick himself is in the chat as well, just having a look and having a feel of how this tournament played out. And of course, we do appreciate the University of Saskatchewan for hosting us on their Twitch channel, and we are off and underway. It is Maverick from right to left. So apologies, it's Maverick as AC Milan right to left. It is Alan Showtime left to right as Manchester United are in their changed white strip. AC Milan in their traditional black and red. As we see these tiny movements, and again, to the untrained eye, this is not. To the untrained eye, everyone's like, why are we pressing pause here? All of these movements mean something to these players, guys, and also the fact that there's also a sub tactic that's on as well. The ability that you can switch your tactic during gameplay. It means you can kind of disguise a little bit what you're trying to do to your opponent. As we'll see, Ruben Loftus-Cheek tries to play the ball forward, looking for Rafael Leao. Neat back heel, looking for Chukwueze. Rafael Leao takes it under his spell. He's still got it as Rafael Leao. He's done really well. He's got the strike off as well. Onana with a huge save. Coming up trumps there for Maverick. And it's a good strike there from Maverick as we look to see whether it can benefit from a corner. It's only 5 just under 5 minutes gone here. Benacer looking for Reinders quick on the corner. Reinders looking to chip that one in, looking for Rafaelo, cleared away. Rashford looking for Fernandez. Fior wins it back, and it's cleared away again once more. Amad Diallo losing out to Kalulu. Reinders looking forward. Benacer wins it back. Loftus-Cheek tries to get it through. It's again just breaking down in midfield ever so slightly. Reinders though wins it back. Benacer. Lindelof. Oh, that's very calm by the Swede. Takes it under control with great aplomb in the box. It's Benacer. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Wan-Bissaka clears it away. It's going to break for somebody here, folks. We're just going to wait and see who gets the first real opportunity of this game. Yes, we saw Rafael Leo, but you felt as though it was more of a chance of opportunity more than anything else. And it's one out here for a corner ball. Bruno Fernandes over the corner, looking for the obvious point of attack as Rafael Varane in towards Amad Diallo! And there is the opening. Manchester United lead AC Milan, and more importantly, Alan Showtime takes the lead against Maverick. Again, it's a well-worked set piece. You aim for a flick on, you aim for a knockdown, and then you hope that your striker can put it away. And Amad Diallo is one of those. The Ivorian youngster does very, very well indeed. Maverick now looking to try and find an answer. McTominay through to Casemiro. Rashford tries to get forward there. Martial, a little bit too heavy on the challenge. Quick free kick by Fior. Chukwueze wins it back. Rafael Leo. Leo in towards Chukwueze, but Lindelof does well. And the big Swede gets it forward. Rashford in towards Martial. Martial, what can he do here? What has Alan Showtime got up his sleeve? And Bailey, one of the Twitch mods in the chat, is the crucial mind that has got this running today as part of our production team. I do appreciate his efforts in getting us up and running. Very much helped out with the eviction of the technical gremlins earlier. Reinders to Okafor. Okafor down the left-hand side, looking for Theo Hernandez, who wins it against Wan-Bissaka, but the pace of Wan-Bissaka is just too much. As Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, and Marcus Rashford try and charge forward. And it is restless and breathless here between these two players as Hernandez tries to chip one up to the front line, and a toe is offside. And again, the offside rule, it is not what it used to be. It is any goal scoring part or any goal that can be legally scored by a body part will put you offside. It's not the old daylight rule, at least not yet anyway. Bruno Fernandes wins it back in transition. Wan-Bissaka. It's a neat dispossession. 28 in-game minutes gone here so far, and you'll see, interestingly as well, folks, the stats popping up in the top left-hand corner. You'll see passes completed. You'll see a lot of it, interesting information. And of course, the most interesting part of it is the scoreline. Okafor tries to roll it in. Great back heel looking into defence. Cleared away by Rafael Varane. The experienced Frenchman knows his way around a defence or two. "30 in-game minutes gone here. Casemiro, Wan-Bissaka. Ronnie Evans clears that forward. Rashford trying to win it down on the header. It's Rafael Leo. Cleared away once more, and that physical presence of AC Milan just keeps winning those headers, but it's not enough at the moment. Loftus-Cheek, Okafor. Down the left-hand side to Theo Hernandez, and it's bounced kindly, and he scored! It has bounced kindly in the box, and AC Milan have their breakthrough. And it's Reinders from midfield. The Dutchman makes it 1-1. And we now have a game on our hands between these two, folks. It is a big, big game between these two. You win this, you can punch your ticket to the grand final. You lose it, and you may have an extra game to play. Found in the losers' final. Rashford trying to get forward here. It bounces kindly towards Martial, but Tamori will clear it away. Here is Okafor. Okafor to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek to Hernandez. Launched forward. Marcus Rashford. Anthony Martial. What's Alan Showtime got up his sleeve? Rashford to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes, neat ball in behind, but Tomori is wise to it. Casemiro. Rashford. Martial takes the strikes, deflected up into the air. Oh, and it nearly goes over the head of Mike Maignan. Cleared away by the Frenchman. That ball could have gone anywhere. 2 added minutes added on here at the half. And as it stands, it will be 1-1 going into half-time between these two. If not for this opportunity, Theo Hernandez in towards Loftus-Cheek, who's just offside. I say just offside. There is some daylight for you, folks, between these two. Tomori heads it down. Cleared away by Benacer. There is the half-time whistle. 1-1 at the half. It is very intriguing between these two. We always say goals late in the half, they can really change a team talk between yourself, shall we say. You know, traditionally in real life football, it can change a team talk. Certainly, it will change how you're feeling as a gamer at this point. As we see the two players settle in and see exactly what they are looking at here. There's no changes as such here. Of course, they do spring into life, folks, so don't take your eyes off the screen, because no sooner do you blink is when all of a sudden change will start here. But of course, AC Milan have got a lot of options off the bench. Of course, most notably, they do have Christian Pulisic on the substitute bench. Of course, many a viewer will know of the plaudits of Christian Pulisic in terms of US men's national team, in terms of his abilities in Europe. Has been very, very good for quite some time. Not utilised at the moment yet, though, by Maverick. He's got 45 minutes, or both of these players, should I say, have got 45 minutes to change their course of their national team combine history. Lindelof plays it forward, finds McTominay, finds Martial. Good defensive work there by Fikayo Tomori, but the ball is cleared forward and cleared straight into the path of Victor Lindelof. Martial, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, across to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka trying to build up once more. Diallo in towards Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes in towards Diallo. It's cleared away. Benacer forward towards Rafael Leao. This is the type of game you really feel as though for Maverick, maybe leaning towards having that physicality of Giroud, as he's won the second ball there, but he's cleared away. Here is Onana. Scott McTominay, Martial. Looking to receive it now, does he? From Rashford to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes looking for Diallo, and shoulder charge goes in, a little bit too strong, and the referee will give it back the other way. So that early pressure that was there being generated by Football Gaming just evaporates very, very quickly there. Sorry, Football Gaming, I apologise. Alan Showtime. My apologies. For Alan Showtime, it got built up there very, very quickly, and it just dissipated. As you can see there, also very highly rated youngster on the bench there in terms of Musa, also represents the United States. So it's quite interesting again as a football fan. Some people may not be aware of some of the US team or the US players that are coming through. Of course, Canada have got a lot of very good players in Europe as well. I think back to Atiba Hutchinson playing in Turkey. You also think, more importantly though, you think of Jonathan David currently playing in Ligue 1. Certainly are players there certainly are building up on I'd say your side of the ocean, but of the viewing public side of the ocean. Of course, myself, I'm a Brit, if you couldn't already tell, folks. But yeah, certainly a good feeling towards the US and Canadian football as it stands at the moment. It's still tantalisingly close between these two. And Anthony now makes his way on, finds Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes in towards Scott McTominay. It's the marauding Scott. What a strike! That is an unbelievable hit from Scott McTominay. There's a little bit of manual keeping there from Maverick. He took control of the goalkeeper. Sometimes it benefits you and sometimes it doesn't. You take one step to the wrong side and you open yourself up for McTominay. And Alan Showtime, it's not just a name, it is seemingly a way of gaming life here. As the ball goes in, as Rafael Varane will clear it away. He now has something to hold on to here. And you just wonder how defensive he might actually go here. Rashford to McTominay, looking for Rashford again, but Tamori. Here is Musa. Cleared away by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes in towards Scott McTominay. McTominay, beautiful ball in. Rashford tries to chip the goalkeeper early. I think the quicker and easier option may have been going around him at that point, but again, in cold blood, it's very easy to say what I would have done. Of course, these players are certainly under a fair bit of pressure, shall we say, here at the National Team Combine for Esports Canada. As I said, if you are just joining us, or if you're wondering what's exactly on the line here, quite simply put, it is a shot at becoming Canada's representative at the International Esports Federation tournaments and the Global Esports Federation tournaments coming up. Vale asking in the chat, my MLS team, of course, my MLS team is kind of geared by some of the European players that have gone to it. My own personal team is LA Galaxy, more so for the likes of David Beckham, Steven Gerrard, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, for all of those players that have joined, as the free kick looks to be set there. It was a smart idea. He was in good position there from Maverick. He tried to play one short. He has still recovered possession, though. Here is Chukwueze. Martial clears it away. Thior wins it back. It is for Maverick to try and get one back here. 15 in-game minutes left here between these two. Again, win and you are through to the grand final of today's combine. Lose and you are into the losers final, as McTominay looks to lay off to Rashford. It nearly bounced kindly for Martial. At this point, it's operation keep the ball down this end of the field. Martial looking to try and get in towards Rashford. It's cleared away again. Anthony, Martial. Rashford tries to strike. It's cleared away by Benacer. It's going to be now or never for Maverick. And it may just be now. It's been dispossessed again by Johnny Evans. And of course, a little bit of smart gameplay there from Alan Showtime is get the ball away from your own defensive line, but more importantly, keep the ball in play, as the ball looks to go forward there to Rashford, who's dispossessed, but it's just a case of preserving what you have already. Bruno Fernandes, and it's cleared away by Theo. Wan-Bissaka wins it back again. Anthony in towards Rashford. Rashford to Martial, looking back for Rashford again. It's been cleared away once more. There is not long left here. It is going to be now or never. If there is a late goal in this, I hadn't even thought about mentioning this up until this point, folks. But if it is if it is a level score at full time, it will then go into extra time and potentially penalty kicks. As we wait and see what these changes are. Musa is probably going to be the player potentially departing. Although Rafael Leo's stamina is completely depleted, as is a lot of these players. It's about who you put on. You can see there Christian Pulisic making its way on. As we mentioned, hadn't been called on as yet. It is now being called upon here. There is not long left between these two. And it's just a case of who comes through here. as we wait. As here we go into the last throws of this game. As you can see, Amrabat on. You can see Kambwala on. And that's a defensive reinforcement there by Alan Showtime. And crucially, he's moved down to all-out defence on his attack, on his defensive bias, and that essentially means he's able to just defend at will. It forces everybody to stay back as Hernandez tries to get forward, and there's not a lot of time here. And Onana punches one clear. And there is 3 minutes here to save himself from one more additional game here, potentially, for Maverick. But Alan Showtime looks to be in full control and looks to be taking this one clear. Here's Musa. Will there be one more opportunity here? Pulisic pulls the trigger, but he just can't get the ball through the nest of players. And that is over halfway. Will there be one more chance? No, there won't. There goes the final whistle. And it is Alan Showtime booking himself into the first of the spots for today's grand final in the National Team Combine for Esports Canada. Again, congratulations to him. The job is not done though. The job is not finished. Crucially, he has got a final to play, but we are going to find out soon. I'll say soon because, of course, I've got to check in with our production team, make sure that we've got it all ready for you, because we can't just show you the footage just whenever, folks. Like, we can't just do that. We also have to kind of make sure that we build this up. But again, fantastic work from Alan Showtime there. A really good defensive display from him. Maverick just running a little bit out of steam there. Again, more so for just didn't quite get those opportunities. Again, you maybe look to Giroud, maybe look for physicalities to go up against Johnny Evans or against Lindelof or against Varane. But of course, it's easy for me to say sitting here, folks. It's a lot harder for them to do because, of course, this being the first, I believe it's the first ever national team combine for eFootball. It is a new way of thinking. Yes, it's one thing sitting on your couch and thinking and talking about eFootball. It's a very different thing when you have to come to national combines, to international tournaments, to regional tournaments, to wherever it is you may be. When you start competing at these types of levels, you have to think a little bit differently. It's not quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not quite a case that you have to kind of think a little bit more professionally, in the sense of, if a game is there to be won, you get your opportunities, and then game management. It's not pretty, it's effective, and it works. And again, at the very, very, very top level, which is what all of these players will aspire to do. And I would certainly say this to everybody who's competed here today or competes in the future. You've got to think about elevating your level past where you think is possible, because realistically, anybody can reach those levels. It's about how you practice, it's about how you train, it's about how you think. And realistically, that's where you've kind of got to get to. And Alan Showtime certainly looks the part at this point in time. And coming up, I believe it's going to be our last game before we have a little bit of a break. Well, I say a little bit of a break. We're having a small break just to make sure that we can get our games up and running. But I believe in the losers final now, between Maverick and Football Gaming, it's going to be the losers final. And we are waiting to see, and I believe it's going to be Maverick who's going to be sticking with AC Milan, and Football Gaming is going to be sticking with Manchester United. So again, a little bit of a matchup for these two. Again, it's always good to see a little bit of sight between these two in terms of how they are looking at one another and how they are going to set up their game plans. As we get ourselves off and into the game plan screen, you can see that can see there as well, the game plans are saved. So some players will save them. They're so used to playing in setups and teams that they will have these formations saved. Again, it comes with preparation, folks. So again, it's always something that you are looking to accomplish, is just make sure that you're prepared for these types of events, because again, it can very easily be something a little bit kind of out of the ordinary for you to think about. As we'll see, the tactics and the individual instructions be set up. As we'll see, the game's just about to get underway. And there we go. So we are, again, thank you to our production man on the touchline, Farley, who's just keeping us straight and narrow here, as we managed to just sync ourselves up perfectly. So we've got ourselves the footage and the commentary running exactly in parallel. I know how it is to sometimes view these esports events where it's remote, and sometimes you can have a little bit of a pitfall where you might hear something happen before you see it, or vice versa. And thankfully, though, everybody is waiting in this go to pause menu. So we are waiting and just waiting with bated breath to see us kick off here between these two teams. And again, we will just double check and ensure of who is who before we obviously get underway. And yeah, this will be a very tense one for one of these two. As we see, it's Maverick from left to right in the AC Milan red and black. It's Amad Diallo and Manchester United in the changed white strip and football gaming from right to left, as Theo lays it off to Theo Hernandez. And this one, folks, will be cagey. There'll be no other word to describe it. It will be a cagey game. It will be tense, and it will be everything you want it to be of a game of eFootball at the most competitive level. Of course, Alan Showtime able to kind of just sit back a little bit now and just assess his two opponents. He knows he doesn't have to play in this game. He knows he's got a shot at representing Esport Canada at the IESF tournament and at the Global Esports Federation tournaments, the GEF as well. Canada will have its first representative at eFootball. Here is Benacer. It's Casemiro who clears it away. Football Gaming looking to charge forward now. Rashford in towards Diallo. Diallo to Marcus Rashford. It's again just dispossessed there by Benacer. He will break things up in midfield for you. Ismail Benacer. Reinders. Loftus-Cheek in towards Chukwueze. Chukwueze in towards Okafor. It's cleared away once more. Bruno Fernandes. Diallo down the right-hand side. In towards Okafor. Okafor knocks it down to Loftus-Cheek. Rafael Leao across to Theo Hernandez. Hernandez with the stunning cross into the box. Johnny Evans with the header clear. Bruno Fernandes heads it on. Amad Diallo. That's cleared away once more here by AC Milan. They've got it in a really good position. Loftus-Cheek in towards Hernandez. It's cleared away, and now Hernandez is out of position here. If Football Gaming can capitalise, he can't. He plays it straight into the path of Reinders. He plays it straight into the path of Casemiro. There's a real midfield battle going on across eFootball at the moment between all of the players we've seen here. It's just a case of who gets their best foot forward. Here's Ismail Benacer. Okafor. Okafor turns the corner, but he can't turn the ball into the back of the net. It goes quite a fair way wide in the end, but it's a good look and a good opening there for Maverick. We'll see it again here. Just manages to turn his way around to defenders. Just can't get the purchase on it to get the ball curled into the corner. as we wait in the pause menu. Of course, interestingly, because we're seeing this from Maverick's point of view, this will be a pause for football gaming. So football gaming may have seen potentially some things that he may just want to tinker and maybe want to change just a few things here and there. And who would blame him at this point with what is on the line for these two players? You would expect them to take every pause. You would expect them to take every opportunity going for just even for a glimpse of an opportunity to represent Esport Canada as their first ever eFootball representative, as we said, in the IESF and the GEF. Of course, a quick nod, as we mentioned, of course, we are today on the University of Saskatchewan's Twitch channel. We very much appreciate them for hosting us here with the national team combine. Very hospitable hosts that have been here all the way for us, and hopefully we get to see these guys put on a show as Bruno Fernandes chips into the box, looks for Rashford, it's cleared away. And whether it is a nail-biting 1-0 victory or if it is a goal-laden scorefest, each type of game will provide you with a bit of intrigue within eFootball. Diallo in towards Rashford. Quick step from Rashford. Free kick drawn though here. Right on the edge of the box. Football Gaming has players stood over it, and he's going to play it short this time. It's going to be Marcus Rashford back towards Bruno Fernandes. He's elected to keep possession at that point. I think it's the right play, but he hasn't played it correctly, and as a result, Benacer wins it back. Rafael Leao. Theo Hernandez. Maverick trying to get one back on the counter-attack here. A little bit too overzealous, and 30 in-game minutes gone here. Still 0-0. With what's on the line, you can't blame it for being as tense as it is right now. Scott McTominay in towards, eventually makes his way from Martial to Diallo. Bruno Fernandes. Ball in, it's cleared away again. Here's Rashford though. Rashford looking to drive forward. He fakes the shot. Martial trying to get a hold of it. And it's cleared away again. Lindelof on the throw, and that's poor from Football Gaming. To give away possession when you're in the opponent's half. It's a very poor giveaway, and it's given the ball straight back to Maverick. However, Reinders will be dispossessed here, and now Scott McTominay can drive. Amad Diallo takes a step and takes a touch, and Diallo is very quick-footed there. Rolls in towards Fernandes. What a chance! It's the first really good chance between either of these players, and it's Bruno Fernandes who's blazed it over the bar. Really good footwork there by the Ivorian youngster Diallo, but it's crunched over the bar by Bruno Fernandes. And on any other day, you'd expect that to nestle into the back of the net. And instead, it finds itself over the bar instead. A little bit of a collector's item there for somebody in the crowd. Martial, that's great ball there to Marcus Rashford. Rashford trying to find his way around, but as we said, Pierre Kalulu is a very, very quick defender, the Frenchman. It's not, again, somebody to be trifled with. Reinders tries to get his ball through. Instead, it's dispossessed by Scott McTominay. We've already seen how good he can be. Casemiro, Diallo. Diallo trying to get his foot to the ball first. It's cleared away, and there could be a very quick break on here for AC Milan if the right passes can be found. Okafor holds it up. Plays in towards Benacer, in towards Chukwueze, and McTominay will clear, and Lindelof will launch it forward. Martial trying to win the second ball and win the header, but it's down to Scott McTominay. McTominay to Martial. Martial, Bruno Fernandes. It's in towards Martial with the strike. What a save! It won't be time for the corner, but it's a phenomenal save by Mike Maignan. That is a phenomenal strike. What a brilliant save by the goalkeeper to keep it at 0-0 at half-time. It is a huge save from the Frenchman. cannot understate just how important that save was. Again, we've seen how important half-time goals can be. We've seen how important goals late on can be. And that one, though, was a phenomenal save. And as such, there are technical changes happening all the time here for these players. Interestingly, we can see deep line being instructed in terms of potentially moving defenders back into, or defensive midfielders moving them back into potentially playing into the back line to maybe potentially make it a 5 at the back at times. It's going to be dicey here for these two players. And for those wondering what I mean by dicey, that is a UK parlance for it's going to be tense. It's going to be very, very tense. And of course, I apologise for any Britishisms or UKisms that sneak their way through. Unfortunately, it is my only way to. It's my only way of talking, but hopefully it does work for you all. As I've just been reliably informed by our producer that it does work on a Canadian level, which is great news. Reinders to Okafor. Okafor to Rafael Leao. Cleared away by Johnny Evans. Question from the chat. It's not easy. That's the point. It's not easy to really bait the defenders because you kind of have to time your runs because you don't have control of the AI runners. So you have to kind of time these passes perfectly. As you can see there are runners and it does help, but the reality is that you can only handle one player at a time, and as a result, it makes it quite difficult. As we can certainly see here, if you build yourself a brick wall at the back, it can be very hard to break down, as you can see, Loftus-Cheek. And there has to be something a bit special to really beat a back line. There has to be some type of dribbling, some left stick dribbling, or maybe even potentially some super cancels where you cancel all of the inputs and it can kind of throw a different animation. I can only liken it really to kind of like fighting games with that type of environment, as Hernandez plays it through to Okafor, and it's scuffed wide by Rafael Leao, but you kind of liken it to potential animations and frames and things like that, and that's the type of level that these guys will eventually get to. Of course, this being the first national team combine for eFootball, it's going to take some getting used to for these guys, but they will certainly get there without a shadow of a doubt. If they keep practicing, they keep playing, they play against better opposition, as the saying goes, steel sharpens steel. That's what they will get to, playing in these international tournaments and playing against their rivals domestically as well. As the ball gets headed out, it's going to be an AC Milan corner here. As the pause goes in there for football gaming. Again, if you are just joining us, if you are wondering what we are doing here on the University of Saskatchewan Twitch channel, it is the national team combine to represent Esport Canada within the IESF and the GEF esports tournaments for eFootball 2024. It is the first of its kind for Esports Canada, so a big thank you to having me along. And quite rightly, as pointed out in the chat, there are some changes that have rolled in, as Reinders is found on the edge of the box, but Fernandez will clear it away. And it is very tense between these two. 60 in-game minutes on the clock here. Chukwueze trying to find Leao. Rafael Varane will clear. And you get the feeling that somebody is looking for an error here. Here's Okafor. Okafor in towards Theo Hernandez, in towards Loftus-Cheek. Cleared away. Ooh, right in the face there as Johnny Evans clears that away. I do only let out a chuckle, as it is a virtual player that took that one to the face. Rafael Varane. Lindelof. Martial, McTominay. Good one-touch passing there for football gaming. Martial. Martial, great ball through the line here towards Bruno Fernandes. Cleared away for a corner ball. Bruno Fernandes. A bit of manual goalkeeping there. Keep your eye on Mike Magnan. That may be an error if it can be picked off. Good play there towards Victor Lindelof on the edge of the box. Great inside ball. Casemiro, good save. Falls to Martial! And there is the breakthrough. With 20 in-game minutes to go, it's Anthony Martial. We'll see it again here. It's really good work there. It's this inside ball. What a ball. What a camera angle for Victor Lindelof's pass there. It was a bit of a fortuitous save from Casemiro's strike. But Anthony Martial is there to sweep it home. And the Frenchman may have just given Football Gaming a priceless lead here. We said there'd be one moment and one mistake, and it may just have been potentially that manual goalkeeping that maybe reset the AI at the corner as Martial looks to get in again here. It could be compounded. Plays it across. Anthony! 2-0! 2 goals in 4 in-game minutes. And Football Gaming looks to have taken the game by the scruff of the neck. He waited and waited and waited and found the left foot of Anthony. It was a crucial strike in the end. And the Brazilian makes it 2-0. With 15 in-game minutes to go. And Maverick looks to be in complete shell shock. It looks so evenly balanced up until that one set piece from Football Gaming. What a fantastic advert for Esports Canada for these two players, because it was just, it looked so, as we said, it was so finely balanced, so delicate between these two. And just like that, it has been turned on its head. As I see the substitutions coming in now. Adley on, Olivier Giroud on, Christian Pulisic is on as well. You do kind of get the sense that the horse has bolted here for Maverick, and that maybe these changes are a little bit too late, maybe. It's Football Gaming that has the ascendancy now. He doesn't have to do anything except clear the ball. But don't expect Maverick to let this one go without a fight. There's Raphael Varane in towards Anthony Martial. Rashford, is he onside? He's beaten the offside trap. It's Marcus Rashford bearing down on goal. Rashford! Good save for the keeper. Bounces back. Rashford again! And that is surely game over. Rashford curves his run. He gets very fortunate to get that ball back from Mike Magnan. But he puts it away at the second attempt, and it is 3-0 here for Football Gaming. And the wheels, sadly, have fallen off for Maverick. It was 0-0 up until 10 in-game minutes ago, but the game is not over. But it certainly feels as though the result is now certain. It looks as though it will be Alan Showtime versus Football Gaming in today's grand final in the National Team Combine for Esports Canada. And one of those two individuals will be representing Team Canada or Esports Canada, unless there can be some absolute magic here from Maverick, but I don't think there will be. Looking at the time left on the clock, there's 5 in-game minutes. It's going to have to be a very quick salvo. I don't think he's got enough time. Giroud with the strike off the base of the post. And it's just been that kind of game for Maverick, where chances have fallen by the wayside. And again, they do say you create your own luck in football. But this very much feels as though his luck has ran out as McTominay, ball is played back to him, and Football Gaming just look to control the game now. Here's Martial, and we're approaching the final throws of the game here. And then we can cast our minds forward to today's grand final, which I can happily tell you is contested over 2 games, not over 1. So it is not 1 game and done. You will see 2 games. And this is maybe not over here. Rashford once more, maybe. Bears down on goal again. Rashford! Good save from the keeper. And there is the final whistle. It is AC Milan 0, Manchester United 3. Football Gaming is through to the grand final of today between him and Alan Showtime. Commiserations to Maverick. just a game taken away from him in 10 in-game minutes was all it took for the game to be taken completely away from him. And as a result, it will be Football Gaming versus Alan Showtime. And as mentioned, we will be taking a quick 5 to 10 minute break here while we get everything set up for our grand final. So please don't go anywhere. Do stay with us. We will be back shortly after this break.
Wants to put me in a hole. Beautiful liar, holding me, I'm a neighbor. Bleeding me dry, she wants to devour my soul. Fuck.
When I first heard about the TELUS esports series, I was like, there's no way.
I was absolutely stoked.
You don't really hear about esports at all in Canada, let alone from a big company like TELUS.
Canada does have a scene, and we do have people who are thriving towards getting us into that bigger picture.
2 versus 1, and it should be their game. The Bronze Bonobos from second, now finally find first.
Simply put, the TELUS Esports Series is esports for everyone. It's our take of what we think the esports industry should look like and where we think it should go. It's way more fun to compete for something when there's something on the line. And the TELUS Esports Series gives players of all skill levels opportunities to experience that. We really want to make the gaming experience more fun for everyone, and we want to help the gaming industry evolve and grow the way that it should. And I think the time is right for it.
And welcome back, everybody, to the National Team Combine here on the University of Saskatchewan Twitch channel. Thank you very much for joining us once more. We are into the finals, or the grand final, of today's games. We have seen already these two come through a host of games here on the live stream here today. And thankfully, you are here to now see it is now going to be 2 games. We do need a winner. There is no everybody shares it. It is a case that we need a winner. And from what we have got here, it is Football Gaming versus Alan Showtime. This is game 1 of the grand final. And interestingly, these two players have both opted to go with Manchester United. Again, we have seen already that they have got a pretty stacked deck in terms of lineups to go for and to go with. We've seen, and now we're going to pretty much see an even battle between these two players. Of course, Football Gaming, we've seen him come through his games here today, and we are now also going to see Alan Showtime, who came through the winners bracket and was very, very confident and very, very at home with what he was accomplishing. So ultimately, we're going to see the two best here today come through here to the grand final. And interestingly, there are some little changes between these two's lineups. You can see, interesting, left-hand side of your screen, Rafael Varane and Johnny Evans. Right-hand side of your screen, you can see now there's starting to be a little bit of changes. I believe they may have just been making sure that they were ready to go. You see Casemiro there playing at centre back. He can also play there. Can play there as an auxiliary centre back, but interestingly, it looks as though there's changes. And of course, as our producer mentions in the chat there, that yeah, it is a popular formation is having a focal point of a striker. You do sometimes see them where they play with wide wingers, but 9 times out of 10, you do tend to see quite a narrow formation. You do see quite a narrow outlook for a 4-3-3 formation. Yeah, and as we can see, you've got Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans, Rafael Varane, and Victor Lindelof on the right-hand side of your screen. You can also see as well that there are 3 centre-backs, of course, which is a little bit of an old-school trick within eFootball esports. It's a way to kind of keep your defenders back, and it's a way to kind of just give yourself a little bit more security, so you don't have 2 lines of two angles to attack from. If you do play with a left back and a right back, depending on their player traits and depending on their abilities, you may find 2 people who might be overly aggressive and overly attacking. So ultimately, it's just going to be a case of who does it best here. And here we go. It is Alan Showtime in Manchester United's traditional red strip from left to right, and his Football Gaming from right to left in the changed. There's the change strip from right to left. Casemiro looking to deliver that one forward. Rashford intercepts it. Bruno Fernandes trying to drive forward again, but Rafael Varane and Alan Showtime looking on the attack. A neat little double touch from Alan Showtime. Rashford in towards Anthony Martial. Martial back towards Rashford. Good save for the goalkeeper, and Lindelof will clear. It is a corner ball. Bruno Fernandes looking to deliver this ball. Delivers it low in towards Ahmed Diallo, in towards Scott McTominay. McTominay in towards Rafael Varane, back towards Casemiro. Rashford on the turn, and Rashford scores. 6 in-game minutes gone, and we have a breakthrough. And it is Alan Showtime who takes the lead, 1-0. What a start here for Alan Showtime. It is Showtime by name, Showtime by nature. He's not let the live stream down here yet in terms of goals, but as we've seen from Football Gaming, he will not want to let this one go. Ball played short here to Rashford, but he is offside. Casemiro. Martial. McTominay. Johnny Evans. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Rashford. Diallo. It's Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro in towards Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes onto Rashford. Rashford looks to turn, takes the strike and scores again. 2-0 up inside 15 in-game minutes. And Alan Showtime is taking a commanding lead here in game 1 of the grand final. As we said, the winner of this tournament, or the winner of this national team combine, will be representing Esports Canada in eFootball for the IESF and GEF tournaments. And at the moment, Alan Showtime is bringing the big guns out here. He's 2-0 up in game 1. Diallo, though, forward, and Football Gaming not trying to let him free. Johnny Evans will clear it forward, in towards Martial. Forward, Rafael Varane will intercept it. Rashford, Diallo, Fernandes, Diallo. Johnny Evans will clear. Is Victor Lindelof. Ball goes forward. Rashford off the post. Diallo again, and Onana will clear. And it is all Alan Showtime at the moment. Here's Bruno Fernandes, Diallo, Casemiro. Rashford. Varane clears it away. Diallo rolls it in. Rashford again. Oh, it's on the post. Martial. Oh, Martial had the chance to score. He's not pulled it in. Diallo's still there, though. Double touch. Tries to get the shot away. Deflected. Lindelof. And it's just saved on the line there by Onana. What a sequence of play. Here's McTominay. Martial. Bruno Fernandes. Tries to get the ball into the box. Corner given. Ball into the box. It's just headed wide by Martial. Still coming forward here. Casemiro forward. Martial. Martial still going. What a hit from Martial! That's one way to answer it. And that is one way to get yourself back into the game. Great strike there by Football Gaming. And that is a thunderous hit for 2-1. And now we'll potentially try and theorise about what the changes will now be. Of course, these two very much are taking lumps out of one another. Big time to score as well if you are Football Gaming. As I've just seen in the chat there, it's not the clink of a crossbar in a hockey net. I will give you that, but it is a sweet sound when a ball hits the back of the net and the ball is forward there and an offside trap's been tried. Ahmed Diallo in on goal, good save, rolls to Anana, rolls away from Anana into Martial, and that's a real gimme. That is for Alan Showtime. Offside trap was triggered, and it was as easy as that, as Rashford plays it forward to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes looking in. But that is a real gimme of a goal for Football Gaming to give away. Rashford over towards Diallo, who's pushed off the ball. Nothing given there. Cleared away. Martial. Bruno Fernandes wins it back. You can see they're just on the edge of half time. Still chances there for Alan Showtime to try and potentially get forward, and so Nana clutched it into his hands, and there goes the half-time whistle, and a commanding lead that Alan Showtime has at this point in time, and it is a big, big, big lead for him in game one of this grand final between these two. And of course, if you're wondering, it's not just this game we got to worry about, folks. We've still got another 90 plus, potentially 90 minutes of this in game two. Of course, we need a winner between those two games. But if it's a case, it falls down to aggregate score between the two as Fernandes takes a strike. Good save from Anana. It falls to him, and it's a good save in truth. Football Gaming, though, not without letting this game go. He's looking for the header of Casemiro. It's headed down to Marcus Rashford. It's cleared away for another corner. We saw how good he can be from set pieces earlier on. It'll be a case where he'll need a little bit of that magic once more. Plays it short this time. Rashford. It's cleared away by Casemiro. Casemiro will drive, as will Martial, and there is a red wave forming, but it's Victor Lindelof that will clear it away. Ball coming forward again by Alan Showtime. Alan Showtime from right to left, if you are just joining us, rolls it across the box. He's cleared away once more. Dispossessed by Varane. Rashford heads it on. It's fallen to Bruno Fernandes. Can Football Gaming get one back here and maybe just ask a couple of questions of Alan Showtime? It's Alan Showtime playing just down one defensively on his attacking bias meter at the bottom of the screen. That does obviously make your team a little bit more aggressive in the defensive phase of the game, as you can see there from Varane. Sticking his foot out and claiming that one. Scott McTominay trying to get forward. Casemiro intercepts it. Ball goes down the right-hand side here again, looking for Diallo into the box. Cleared away again. The 61 just ticked into 62 in-game minutes gone here. Again, you have to feel that there's going to have to be an opportunity at some point for Football Gaming to get another one back into this game. And substitutions are there to be had. And the notable inclusion there of Rasmus Højlund. Anthony also being brought on as well. A bit of an attacking refresh here potentially by the players here. And as we said, each pause and each change will certainly have the capability of completely changing this game. There's Christian Eriksen. Good footwork by the Dane. Eriksen delivers it into the box, headed clear. Anthony will lead it away once more, looking up towards Rashford. And Anthony's recovered it here, and Anthony has got players in attack with him. One of them's Højlund, the other one's Rashford. Good save from Onana. Corner ball. And it's Alan Showtime who is has been the key, or the king of making those opportunities and making those chances. Certainly has allowed himself even more of a freedom to do so with the changes he's brought on with Anthony and Højlund. Here is Bruno Fernandes. Good stop from the man from Portugal. Eriksen blocks it away. Wan-Bissaka forward. Johnny Evans. Back towards Onana. Really looking to see this one off is Alan Showtime. In game one, it's in towards Anthony. Across to Højlund. Højlund goes to the controlled strike. Anthony tries to win the header and does so. Gets it back to Højlund. Really good recycle of the ball there by Alan Showtime, but comes to nothing from there in Football Gaming, looking to try and break away. Rashford to Diallo, cleared away again by Bruno Fernandes, and you just think the time is just not on the side here of Football Gaming in this game one. Here's Wan-Bissaka in towards Lindelof, cleared away by Bruno Fernandes, and that's where that defensive mindedness comes into play, as there's a challenge left in late there. Wan-Bissaka goes in on Amrabat. It's just those type of challenges. And sometimes, as folks as well, there's players at home, if it's the first time you've ever watched eFootball, some players will actually go in and potentially look at what their opponent is actually doing in this match screen as well. So it's not just a case that they are making changes. They will pause just to see what their opponent's changing as well. You can go into, I believe it is opponent information. You can actually see more of what your opponent is trying, especially that's within the Dream Team mode. Of course, here, with it being in the game plan screen, you can see a lot more of what your opponent is doing. As you can see Dallo being brought on at left back, and you can see now he's changed into a left back, which now is going to give more of an attacking thought, or more of an attacking play style. But actually, the reality is that it's going to leave a little bit more of gaps in and around the back line for these players. So it's one to be mindful of as the ball goes into the box. Amrabat, Højlund clears it away. Rashford in towards Anthony. Ball tries to go through again once more, and Rashford is tussling and bustling, and it's a little bit too hard on it against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And as a result, free kick is given away with not long left. Still 3-1 to Alan Showtime. Football Gaming, outside of that solitary strike, has not been able to break the lines again. And critically, it came from one wrong move from Football Gaming to try and trigger the offside trap, especially during the kick-off phase of a game, or especially after just scoring. I believe he just scored. It's a very kind of a rookie mistake to make, but as we say, these players will learn these pitfalls as they play more and more often, and as they play, as we said, domestically, internationally, regionally, they will get to know these pitfalls that they should or shouldn't be picking up. Of course, there's a multitude of YouTubers and Twitch streamers and the works where you can go and learn more about eFootball. Obviously, I would encourage everybody to go and learn more about it, because you'll certainly get a greater appreciation for not only for the players here, but what they are able to pull off. Rashford, beautiful ball in towards Anthony, tries to roll it past the keeper. It goes for a corner. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes just on the stroke of injury time. And it's Anana that comes away with it, and the time is going to tick down here. And you would say that game one certainly is about to go into the books here for Alan Showtime. As you said, commanding victory from him in game one as Rashford tries to play it to Højlund. And there goes the final whistle. It is 3-1 for Alan Showtime in game one. So you can see there from the stats, 11 shots, 9 on target. Had the lion's share of possession by a little bit. But realistically, he was there to take the game away from Football Gaming. And as a result, there you have it, folks. That is game one of our grand final in the books. But don't go anywhere. As we said, it isn't just game one that we've got to take care of. There is the small matter of game two. Now, of course, there is a bit of a goal swing that is required here for Football Gaming. But the reality is that if he can pull it off, Alan Showtime could be in a bit of trouble. But if Alan Showtime is able to go ahead and win this game, it's done and dusted, and Alan Showtime will be going through as the Canadian representative for Esports Canada. But we still have game two to look forward to now. So, as I promised, I won't keep you any longer. It's going to be Football Gaming versus Alan Showtime, part 2 of the grand final. As you see, both teams, well, both players sticking with Manchester United. It is a rerun. We'll see again if they have swapped ends, as it were. Of course, you know, in a finals section of a team, or especially within a two-legged affair, you would imagine that kind of almost host advantage has then been flipped. So I believe it was I think it was Alan Showtime, I believe, who was home in the first game. You would imagine that Football Gaming is home in the second game. And so, to some, that might be, well, Wes, why is that important? Sometimes first kickoff and second kickoffs, obviously from the first whistle to start the game and from the half-time whistle, they can be vitally important. They can be vitally important. I know it sounds very flippant to say, and people are like, well, Wes, why is it important? Well, as we saw from the third goal from Alan Showtime, is that if somebody has a mental lapse and has a moment where they completely forget what they are doing, they can trigger an offside trap, or they can do something out of the ordinary, and as a result, you can really have a clear-cut opportunity. So kind of kick-off phases of breakdowns from set pieces, counter-attacks, those types of things, you've really got to keep your eyes peeled on what you're looking for, because of course, as I said, there is a multitude of pitfalls the size of Donkey Kong that could be waiting there for you if you're not careful. So again, if you are looking to play eFootball, or if you're looking to get involved in eFootball, just take notes. Look at what these guys are doing. Look at what players around the community are doing. Look at players who are competing internationally, regionally, domestically, all of that good stuff. And just research a little bit, and then try and replicate it yourself. That's always the best thing to do, is pick up a controller and just try it yourself, because you could be competing here with an opportunity, to represent Esports Canada. You could be representing even your own countries. If you're, if you're not watching this from a different country, you could be representing it through whatever means it is there for your national teams as well. So, a big kudos to Esports Canada for having this type of event, because I know that speaking to their esports reps, it was important for them to get this type of thing off and running. And of course, the more eyes this gets on it, the more publicizing of this type of thing and these types of events, the more likely you are to to get involved because, of course, potentially with certainly for this event where it's the World Esports Championships in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, could be going to Saudi Arabia just to play video games, which again my parents would certainly look at me and just say, "Where's your nuts? How are people going and playing esports or how are people going and playing video games in other countries? This is how." So it's a great advert to have here for the World Esports Championships, for Esports Canada, and of course, it's going to be a hell of a lot hotter in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, than potentially in Canada. So of course that is always good to look forward to. So we're just waiting for time and everybody to be waiting and ready to go. And as expected, football gaming from left to right, and Alan Showtime from football gaming, from right to left, and Alan Showtime from left to right. Of course, we're seeing this game from football gaming's perspective. So again, that would show in terms of the blue icon, that is football gaming. So Lindelof to Ericsson. So it is Alan Showtime in the change strip and football gaming in the home strip. Here's Rashford. Do keep in mind it is 3-1 from game one for Alan Showtime. Rashford, Martial, good block by the defender. Lindelof will clear. Again, those early pauses coming in. As now we get back and underway. There's an early change there. Something not quite sitting well there. One of the players is Martial, though. McTominay, Casemiro. Just breaking down ever so slightly in midfield. Rafael Varane. Cleared away again here. Diallo in towards Rashford. Football gaming onside. Bruno Fernandes. Good save from the goalkeeper. It's poor giveaway at the corner there. Ball is cleared. McTominay. Rashford. Bruno Fernandes. Cleared away again by McTominay. Just breaking down in midfield. And as we said, it's that midfield battle that is always so crucial in uniform ratings mode. As we've mentioned already, uniform ratings, it basically levels the players' overalls. So your star players will come down in overall ratings. Your youngsters and lesser rated players will actually get boosted up. And it is designed to equal out these teams. And of course, with both teams playing as Manchester United, this is a real test of who can utilise their team better. As Martial plays it in towards Fernandes, is Diallo with the strike. Oh, and what a finish! Ahmed Diallo out of nothing. It is a fantastic start there for football gaming. McTominay. Rashford. Casemiro. Martial cleared away. cleared away once more. Bruno wants to play it in. Casemiro will clear it away. Here's Martial. Will there be a response here from Alan Showtime? McTominay. Back towards Casemiro. Casemiro trying to play it through the line. He will eventually get there. Here's McTominay. Casemiro. Good ball rolls in there. And it's a good shot. It's deflected. Here's a corner. Oh, I beg your pardon. It's not a corner. It's a goal kick. Referee saw that one a little bit differently to how I saw it in the commentary box. And it is back the other way once more. Lindelof to Casemiro. And the line it goes. Diallo trying to get it forward. McTominay plays it forward, looking for Rashford. Cleared away again. It's Bruno Fernandes. In towards Diallo. Lindelof wins it back once more. Diallo into Rashford. Rashford trying to get it forward and it's cleared away again. Just approaching half time here between these two. Still the solitary goal dividing the two players in game number 2. The ball gets rolled in. It might just be another one, but it's cleared away by Wan-Bissaka. Eventually it is cleared. And that will be half time in the grand final, game number 2. That is the solitary goal that separates these two teams and these two players. And again, as we said, the overall winner of this set of games, this series, will be the representative for Esports Canada at the IESF World Esports Championships and also the Global Esports Federation Global Esports Games. So it is a massive prize on offer for one of these two. We'll wait with 45 virtual in-game minutes to see who that is going to be. As we just wait for the pause to be finished up by these two players. And there is the whistle to signify the second half here. As we said, it's going to be very tense between these two. Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. That's an offside flag. Just waiting here. I'm just watching this as a fan. More so, it sometimes just happens as a commentator. You do get sucked into the occasion of it where you're just not quite sure as to what way this is going to go. Of course, that's why we make sure that we find out at the end of this who it is. Now, of course, at the moment, if my maths are correct, it is still Alan Showtime with the advantage here. Of course, he won 3-1 in game 1. And Football Gaming has a goal lead here. Here is Scott McTominay, of course. As we said, Football Gaming in the red from left to right now. Looking to maybe get a second goal here, and he might just get one. It's Martial, he turns the corner. Martial finds the net. It's 2-0. And now we have a bit of a game on our hands. Well, I'm just making sure with our production team, just to make sure we can ascertain that we have the right colours. Of course, when players play as Manchester United and Manchester United, it can be quite hard to keep track of which team is which. Of course, we are working under the assumption that these two players switched ends. So at the moment, this would be level. We will get some summary confirmation at the end. And there is a goal out of nothing. It's 3-0. What a finish that is. We'll find out the ramifications of that at the end of the game. As you see, the changes coming in now, but 3-0. And all of a sudden, this tie could potentially be completely turned on its head. Although the more I see of the substitutions, the more I'm actually looking at it and thinking that actually it may be Showtime that might actually be 3-0 up here, because again the substitutions are almost exactly what we had seen of him. But also looking at the way the Football Gaming has just changed its attacking bias here, I think he's going all out defensive and he's trying to protect the lead here. So I actually think it's Football Gaming who's gone 3-0 up here, which is an absolutely mammoth scoreline. Anthony, though, chips it in. Rashford is offside. And like we said, we will await formal confirmation of it towards the end. Bruno Fernandes, Højlund, Anthony. Anthony in towards Bruno, back towards Rashford. Cleared away, although it's a foul that's been given. Free kick in, good save from Onana. Now, of course, looking at this, it's either 20 minutes for Alan Showtime to save his game, or it's 20 minutes of a victory lap here for Alan Showtime. We will soon find out whether it's the former or the latter. Ball in, Højlund with the strike, and it's cleared away by the defender. I think it may be a little bit of a victory lap more than anything. Højlund, good tap away from the defender. It's cleared away. "15 in-game minutes left here. Anthony, cleared away by Johnny Evans. Not long left here. Varane, forward. Bruno Fernandes. Anthony. 12 in-game minutes left here, and it's broken to Rasmus Højlund. Højlund charging in. Stunning strike. Oh, that's a brilliant hit. That is a superb hit from Rasmus Højlund. 4-0. And the more you see the aggression, the more you come to realise it's Alan Showtime who has been all through it and then some. And he has been well worth it in terms of goals and in terms of gameplay. And it looks as though it's going to be Alan Showtime who's going to take this one away. And he has absolutely swept the board. And this would be a 7-1 aggregate victory, as we have come to find out. Thank you very much to our production team. Have just clarified it is Alan Showtime, and it has been an absolute walkthrough in this finale from Alan Showtime. 4-0 at the moment, and it's a fantastic save there by Onana to protect the clean sheet. And we are closing in on what has been a dominant performance, and Esport Canada have got themselves their representative. It is Alan Showtime. He has certainly brought the party here. 4 in-game minutes left here. And he potentially bag a 5th goal just to make sure he won't need to, realistically, at this point, as Johnny Evans will clear it. As the free kick comes in, that's going to be pretty much the last actions of it all. And it's going to come up to the final whistle here shortly. And there is the final whistle. And we have a representative of the national team combine here for Esports Canada. It is Alan Showtime after a commanding 7-1 victory in the end, or the grand final series. A massive congratulations to him. What a performance, by the way. In terms of the abilities that we saw from him, he was well worth it. He was full of goals, he was full of chances, and he was full of skill, most importantly. Alan Showtime, fantastic to see him. He will now go on and represent Esports Canada in the International Esports Federation tournament and in the Global Esports Federation tournament. A big congratulations to him. Of course, the tournament he's most going to be zeroing in on, as you can see from obviously all of the graphics around us, is the World Esports Championship, which will take place, I believe, in November in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. A big congratulations to him. Again, of course, if you want a little bit of background on Alan Showtime, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So they will have themselves provincially, is that the right word? I think that's the right word. Provincially, they have a fantastic representative, not only to represent their region, but to represent the very proud nation of Canada. And in terms of what his next steps will be, it's now going to be preparation. There's a good few months now between the World Esports Championships and obviously we're in the middle of May. There is a lot of time. There's a lot of time. So he'll be looking to rest up. He'll be looking to research his team. He'll be looking to potentially, even at that point, there'll obviously be transfers in the real world that may affect his team perspective in terms of who he may pick. Will he stick with Manchester United? Will they have no incoming players? Will they have players leaving the club? There's so many different things to think of. Not only in that, though, he'll be looking for practice partners. He'll be looking for players to get himself accustomed to playing against players. So, you know, in terms of that, he'll certainly be looking to do that as well. In terms of the goals that we saw, there was the stunning strike with Rasmus Højlund at the end that really capped it off. That was a big highlight for what I saw throughout of it. Just the consistency of his gameplay was well worth the wait and well worth what we saw from him. Of course, for myself, you know, again, thank you very much for being along for the ride. Again, you'll be able to find me on social media @Stuart Westley. Again, I do quite a few tournaments here and there for eFootball. You might see me in Riyadh, you might not. We never know. You never know where I'll show up next. Is the good thing. Of course, a big shout out to the University of Saskatchewan for hosting us on the channel. Cannot thank some of the guys for their time and their kind of dedication to making sure that this stream can get off the ground, and more importantly, to make it as seamless as they did. So a big thank you to them, and obviously for hosting the national team combine on their channel. But for now, folks, I believe that's done and dusted for the national team combine. As again, I have been Stuart Wesley. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to see you off to a sponsor from our sponsor from an ad for TELUS. Take care, everybody. Peace out.
When I first heard about the TELUS esports series, I was like, there's no way.
I was absolutely stoked.
You don't really hear about esports at all in Canada, let alone from a big company like TELUS.
Canada does have a scene, and we do have people who are thriving towards getting us into that bigger picture.
2 versus 1, and it should be their game. The Bronze Bonobos from second, now finally find first.
Simply put, the TELUS Esports Series is esports for everyone. It's our take of what we think the esports industry should look like and where we think it should go. It's way more fun to compete for something when there's something on the line. And the TELUS Esports Series gives players of all skill levels opportunities to experience that. We really want to make the gaming experience more fun for everyone, and we want to help the gaming industry evolve and grow the way that it should. And I think the time is right for it.
With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Connect the dots straight to the start of intoxicating want. Lingering touch, these soft words whispered in the dark. Set my heart on fire. Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones, you won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down to fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no